G'day ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the YouTube channel. How are we all doing today? We get to try out this beautiful toy. This here is an FTR 1200 Sport, okay? Seating position's rather nice. I get to do a little loop. Apparently, this thing likes to go and wheelie. Ooh. That stock exhaust is nothing of interest to me, but let's go. Ooh. Now I'm told this thing likes to boogie, so I have to be careful on the accelerations, which fair enough, honestly. It is a 1200cc V-twin of enjoyment, so let's give this thing a bit of woo. This thing likes to party, that's for sure. Oh man, that thing is already immediately fun. So I'm going to follow the route that I've been told by the blokes at Indian, so I don't get lost. Now, I sort of know where I'm going around these parts, but I don't really know where I'm going, so let's not get too adventurous. Now, we're in third gear. Let's do a pull to 70. Okay, yep, that thing's got oomph. I like it. I like it already. Now, that was babying on the throttle, because I don't want to go too hard on it, because like I said, it's not my bike, and there's a $2,500 excess fee if I do have an oopsie on it, so let's not have an oopsie on it. Fortunately, I am recording everything, so if anything does happen, and it's not my fault, I can prove it. But, just going off the bat, now, this is a 240 kilo bike, dude, so it's not a light bike. Now, I don't know if this is the road he told me to go down. I don't think it is, actually. Let's go back at this lane. Now, it's a little bit tall for you, boy. We've got no petrol in the damn thing. Where's that rear brake's a little strange to find. This has got the old school dash, so it does no digi-dash on it. I actually prefer this dash over the new ones and the other one anyway. Like, I really like the FTR Carbon model, but I think the dash on it is kind of awful. And the new one's dash looks a bit more like this, but it is digital. Now, this bike is fantastic in terms of power. It's got exactly what I like. It's got 120 Newton meters of torque, and it's got 120 horsepower. Oh, that is remarkably fun. Oh, now look, it's punchy. Like I said, I am definitely giving it a little bit tame on the acceleration, because I don't want to go too hard. But dude, this thing, it's got, ooh. Yeah, she's got a bit of oomph in her, that's for sure. Fortunately, the ride I'm doing today is a bit more of a round ride. Now, the indicators are a little bit strange, I'd say, for my liking. They don't really feel too great, the button, but that's okay. You get used to these things. Just because my like Honda Rebel's buttons are so like clicky compared to, well, any other bike I've ridden so far. Ooh, I like it. Brakes feel pretty good. Now, if you're riding MT-09s and stuff, apparently this is a sort of a good competitor to it, so let's give it a... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's fun. I like it. Now, obviously, with the stock exhaust, no bike feels as good. It just feels like it's lacking. And the stock exhaust doesn't really stop too much, realistically, and most people know this, but the sound of the bike changes the feel of the bike to me. But we're in fifth gear. Let's go into sixth, so we're at, like, let's go slow down to 70 and then give it a... Oh, look, it still has enough go in sixth, that's for sure. Let's get it back in fifth. Let's get one of these mirrors so I can see what the hell I'm doing. I might do two little loops here, because this thing... Now, for a bike that's apparently as heavy as this is, it doesn't feel so bad. Like, it's still a little bit... Like, you feel it a little bit when you're doing this, right? It's obviously not the lightest motorcycle in the world, but it doesn't feel bad on the side, that's for sure. Like I said, I've ridden lighter bikes. The lightest bike I've ridden was like 160-something kilos, and that was the old MC19. So if you ride an MC19, you know about them. But dude, this thing... Oh, she likes to boogie. And she likes to do it quickly. I tells you what, this thing... Oh, this is grouse. Now, on this model, you do have the RPMs you can check. You can change it to like your things and whatnot. Now, there's no speed modes on this bike, which is fine to me. I don't really care about riding modes and whatnot, for a good reason. Riding modes, I think, are a little bit, you know, not for me. Oh, I'm thoroughly enjoying this thing. Man, this thing likes to party, and it likes to party fast. Same thing. Oh, a little bit of pops. Now, I know the stock tune on this thing is obviously not the best tune in the world. Oh, yeah. Let's give it a... Oh, dude, I like this thing. Now, there's not enough things of these in public. It's a shame that they're not selling. Now, apparently, it's not just the sales figures that's ruining them. It's a bit of emissions, which I didn't know about. but I found that out today. I don't care if they're discontinuing this bike. This thing is awesome. It's the fuel tank. It's the one thing that's a little bit strange about it, which is you get used to it like all bikes, but the seating position is quite nice. I don't feel too uncomfortable. I know it's a naked bike, so it's typically more comfortable anyway. Don't you pull out in front of me, good sir. You're going to have a big, hefty excess bill to pay if you do. But I tells you, she likes to boogie, and she likes to boogie well. So let's do another cheeky loop on this thing. Dude, it feels good. 120 horsepower is a good street bike, dude. It's got plenty of torgos, as they say. Oh, you know, we can make this. Now, I was told to be careful. I don't want to pop the wheel up and not be ready for it, but it certainly doesn't feel like it'd take you by surprise. Now, if you're really inexperienced and you whiskey throttle this thing, I could completely understand that if you cook it that way, because fair enough, this thing will it will bite you when you're not paying attention. But you can see it's got some torque. Now, it doesn't hit all low, and this bike sort of revs out a little bit, okay? And I sort of like that, but it's definitely got a good amount of punch. And when you get into that power band, oh, it delivers in a very satisfying package. And if you're interested in one of these bikes, I'd say absolutely go test ride it if you're legally allowed to, okay? Now, it was a pain in the ass for me to test ride this today because my license never got updated, the physical one. So I have a digital version of my license, which shows that I have no conditions on it, so I'm allowed to ride anything, so I'm fully licensed. But my physical license still says that I'm bloody got learner restrictions, which is a pain in my ass. So unfortunately, in that regard, that's it makes things annoying for this aspect. So they go, don't drop the bike or crash. You'll have a $2,500 excess. I'm like, don't scare me. I'm a good boy, I promise. Oh, dude, that is an addictive curve of torque. I like it a lot. Now, I'm not going to do the longest street ride of this one today, mainly because this thing has no fuel, and also, neutral's easy to find. Very easy to find. Oh, I just don't really like the position of the rear brake at the moment, because it's very, sort of in towards the bike. The clutch grabs at a very nice point. There's a good feeling in the clutch. It's not too outrageous. Some bikes, their clutches are like way out there, and you sort of have to get a feel for it. This thing, not so much. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, that thing boogied a lot faster than I was ready for it. Oh dude, I like it. I'm a big happy boy. Oh man, I tell you what, this thing, there's a reason it's on my radar, and it's doing a terrible job right now, because it's selling me on it, and I'm like, I want one. And it's good thing is their second-hand ones are not too expensive. Needs a pipe, 100%. That stock exhaust is horrible. I just don't know why everyone's riding so damn slowly. So 120 newton meters of torque, 120 horsepower. I forget what RPM the torque kicks in at, which is fine because it feels good everywhere at the moment. Maybe I'll do a third loop just because the petrol's still very, very sexy. Oh yeah, dude. This bike just keeps on going. Let's not ride in the oil there. But like when you twist that throttle, now obviously I'm riding very reserved, as it's not my bike, as I tend to ride tame on all the bikes that aren't mine. But in the power that I am giving it, because I am trying to keep it relatively legal, because like I said, YouTube likes it that way, I'm showing you what it's like as a commuting bike, and it does feel very, very good, just up and about. Now, a lot of people say this is your weekend bike, but dude, this thing feels good. Now, a lot of people I've heard say that when you ride it, it's almost like it feels like it wavers in place. Now, that was what I heard Chase on Two Wheels say about the bike when he test rode one. And I can't say I agree with that, because it's not doing that to me. Standing on, I can tiptoe the bike on both legs. I can't flat foot both of them, but I'm only 5'9" with shorter legs, so don't at me. Ugh, but you can get down on the one leg pretty comfy. And if you give it the beans, boys, this thing, she boogies. So big thank you to MCAS Indian Dandenong for letting me test ride this thing. Now, they're letting me test ride it as a customer, not a YouTuber, alright? So I'm not test riding this bike as a YouTube boy. I'm test riding it as I am interested in this bike personally. So that's where my slight bias towards enjoying the bike come from, and I have no shame about it, because this thing is indeed one gorgeous motorcycle. Alright? The only thing is, I've got to get into a position where I can give this thing one last little send. See, that's where we came from. There we are. Yamaha? Jesus Christ, I'm so used to saying Yamaha from the other places I go to. MCAS Superstore, or MCAS, whatever, motorcycle accessory store with the Indian dealership. Fantastic blokes, very nice, very helpful. More than happy to let me go out on the bike, and they literally just go, don't damage it, which is honestly, what more can you ask for from a place? Now the V-twin on this bike, I don't feel it's putting out too much heat, which is good. So let's give it one more. Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah. Oh, second gear feels good. It feels right. This bike is really, really, really nice. Now, everybody I show this motorcycle to has always said the similar thing. They always go, that is a bloody awesome looking bike. And I can't help but agree. The FTR is a gorgeous motorcycle. I think it doesn't get enough praise for how good it looks. It's not common, which is the one thing I find strange. It's such a good bike. I don't know why it isn't common. Oh, that needle oil on the dash is a little bit behind. I pulled off that throttle at like 70 and it was still climbing. Oh man, I do like the old needle compared to the digital dashes personally. I think they look a lot better, a lot cleaner. But if I want the carbon, I got to get the Digi Dash, unfortunately. But it does come with riding mode. So this one, the Sport, doesn't come with riding modes. It just has a fuel tank, an engine, a dash, and just goes have fun. And honestly, for a bike like this, you don't even need any more. This thing feels great on the side of the tire, in front. You can get a little bit of wheelies out of it if you're really doing it. I'm not trying to pop the front wheel up. I'm trying to be a good boy, okay? For good reasons. I can't afford to dump the bike, and Australian police will have me in the middle of nowhere quickly if I start doing stupid shit like that. Let's go. Oh mate, I've gotten good RNG at this light. Let's give it one last. Oh man, this bike puts a smile on one's face in the best kind of way. Sure, you can buy yourself a KTM, but they're bankrupt and don't exist anymore. I don't know what the hell's happening to KTM. Whereas this, the petrol tank is really nice. It grabs your legs really good. The mirrors aren't too bad. I would probably change them, but they're fine. The throttle feel is nice, but I think it's got I don't think it's a cable throttle. I think this is a ride-by-wire, which if you don't like ride-by-wire, unfortunate for you. You can buy a quick shifter aftermarket for this, although I've never really found a use for quick shifters because I'm just not used to them, but I know that they are a great addition. But man, oh man, this thing, the brakes feel good, the acceleration feels fantastic. Now, like I said, I was looking at getting the Street Fighter V2, and besides the price of the Street Fighter, this thing brand new is quite hefty. I know some of them go for like 22 to 27,000 Australian dollars, so they're not a cheap motorcycle, but second-hand, you can pick one up for like 12,000 bucks. Whereas, honestly, I think this thing has enough go. It looks good, it sounds good, it feels good, and that's really all that matters with motorcycles, dude. I like it. The key's in a nice position, the handlebars feel great, the throttle feels fine, the seat is surprisingly comfortable. It's a naked bike, dude. It is comfy. What do you have to say about it? Besides that, everything about this bike at the moment is a treat. So let's boogie back to the Indian dealership and talk a little bit more about it. Oh, dude, there's really not too much to complain about. I really think this might be one of the next bikes in the Sergeant Wombat lineup, and that's not for worse, for sure. This thing is a phenomenal motorcycle, and I'm treating her like kindly, and she's giving me all these smiles, you know. So imagine when you're thrashing it and you're really giving it some. Ooh, it has a little bit of a. Ooh, there's a pop on the stock exhaust. That's a little surprising, I'll be honest. Oh, those pops do sound good. They sound very good. But I'm going to take this thing back before I get myself in trouble with it, because on the Honda Rebel, it's a lot harder to get in trouble. And I don't want to get too excited about this thing yet. But I really think this thing has potential to be on the hit list, dude. Like I said, it's definitely, you can feel the weight when you're swerving from side to side, but oh, when you pull that accelerator forward or backwards, you give that the old wristy twisty. It just goes in the best kind of way. Let's see how the slow speed stuff goes, actually. Oh, dude, the slow speed stuff is fine. People say it lurches a lot. No, it doesn't. This is fantastic. Going 30 kilometers an hour. Obviously, if you pin it like that, you're gonna fucking feel it. But dude, this thing is awesome. Now let's put it back and be a good boy before I do something dangerous with it. Oh, what a driveway. Oh, this thing it's done things to me that only my girlfriend should be doing to me. So let's roll this thing up. Oh, let's see with this. That's really easy to get to, which is always nice. I appreciate a nice, easy kickstand. Well, let's have a look. That looks good. The indicators and the headlight look nice. The brakes feel good with your steel braided lines. Like I said, the exhaust is the one thing that would go. But you've got a bigger version of the Scout engine that's bored out 100 cc's more. That upswept exhaust would be deleted. I'd like the downswept Toach exhausts. And, of course, a tail tidy. But you can lock that bike relatively easily. Oh, you just got to go backwards. Delightfully devilish. But yeah, dude, controls are simple. You got your cruise, like your horn, cruise control, indicator, your blinkers, or your flashes. I don't know. You got your mode button, your on buttons, and dude, suspension's quite nice. But if you're looking to get yourself an Indian FTR 1200, I'd say absolutely keep that on your hit list. Otherwise, take it easy, ladies and gents. Keep it cheesy. Have a wonderful day and ride safe. Peace. Bye.